Hey, how's it going, fight fans? Welcome to mindforcombat. If you're new to this channel, my name's Rohan. It's my platform where I do MMA and boxing related content. If you're new here, why don't you help me grow my channel? All you gotta do is simply hit the subscribe button, maybe like the video, dislike it if you don't like it, and get involved in the conversation in the comment section below. Anyways, with that said, for this video I'm going to be breaking down the upcoming welterweight fight on the UFC 244 card between Stephen Thompson and Vincente Luque, and it's an absolutely brilliant fight and I just cannot wait for it. Coming into this fight, Stephen Thompson's coming off a bit of a layoff. He got knocked out by Anthony Pettis in his last fight. He's actually coming off back-to-back losses. Actually, he's 1-3 in his last 4 fights, and he hasn't really looked or been able to gain that same momentum that he had once that led him into a world title fight with Tyron Woodley, and even got him a draw against Tyron Woodley in a world title fight. Stephen Thompson is a top tier, top caliber fighter, and this is a fight that he really needs to win to stay ranked at the top of the division. Opposing, he fights Vincente Luque, the streaking young man who is an absolute violent finisher. I actually featured him in one of my most underrated fighters videos, and I believe that he is a really underrated fighter, but he's finally getting the recognition that he deserves. He's put together some wins. He's on a 6-fight win streak since he's lost to Leon Edwards, and actually he's like 11-1 or 10-1 in his last 11 fights, and he's actually got brilliant momentum coming into this fight, and it's a really key and important fight in the welterweight division, and the winner is really putting themselves in prime positions, perhaps be only 2 wins away from a world title fight, and I just cannot wait from it. So let's go through this fight and let's break down the tail of the tape. Stephen Thompson comes into this fight at 36 years old. That makes him 9 years older than the 27-year-old Vincente Luque. At 36 years old, as a fighter who relies on his reflexes, and a guy who's been knocked out in his recent fight, taken some damage against Tyron Woodley, been around in the game for a long time, training, all the wear and tear that he's taken. At 36 years old, with a layoff as well, is he going to be looking the same? I don't know. That's the whole interesting thing about this fight. Is this the same Stephen Thompson that took out Johnny Hendricks all them years ago, or is this older Stephen Thompson who's a bit slower, doesn't have the reflexes, can't avoid strikes as well as he used to, and just gets hits more? It's a good question to ask, and it's something that I think we should consider. Stephen Thompson comes to this fight with a record of 14 wins, 4 losses and 1 draw. Obviously, he's had more main events than Vincente Luque. He's had championship fights. He's had high caliber fights. He's been a superstar. He's had tons and tons of fights in the world of kickboxing. He's a more experienced fighter, despite Vincente Luque having more fights than him in MMA, with a record of 17 wins, 6 losses and 1 draw. Vincente Luque's got a lot of experience in his own right, and he's been built up into this fight at the correct time in his career. It's a great fight. Stephen Thompson's a little bit taller than him. He stands at 6 foot. Vincente Luque is 5'11", just 1 inch, but the reach is identical at 75 inches. So that's interesting, especially considering this, in my opinion, is going to be a stand-up fight. Stephen Thompson's style can be described as karate. He likes to keep his hands low, comes side on, and uses his kicks to leverage his fighting style. He's apparently been working on his boxing coming into this fight, and I really hope that we do see new and improved, better boxing from Stephen Thompson. I like Stephen Thompson. I like to see him do well. And I don't think that the karate style in itself is going to be enough, but we can get into that. For Vincente Luque to describe his style, well, he's an all-round, well-rounded fighter. He's got skills on the ground. He's got great Brazilian jiu-jitsu. He's got great stand-up. I'll describe him as a striker, really, because I believe he likes to strike. He's a savage. He's an animal. He loves to get into them brawls. He's got violent knees, violent elbows, violent punches and kicks. He's just a bad dude. He hits hard. He's a striker, though. I'll define him as a striker despite being an all-round fighter. Let's look at some of their key wins. For Stephen Thompson, his resume is really lengthy. After his loss to Matt Brown, and he went on to get some of the best wins against some of the guys you can in the division, including the current Bellator champion and the former world title contender in the UFC, Rory MacDonald, a guy who I respect a ton of a lot. Rory MacDonald is the man. I think a lot of his abilities. He took out Johnny Hendricks after Johnny Hendricks had just lost the world title and just beaten Matt Brown, so this was about to downgrade or go downhill Johnny Hendricks, but he hadn't just gone downhill yet, so that win means a little bit something. He's beating George Masvidal in his most recent win, so that's a pretty good win there. And then beat Jake Ellenberger when Jake Ellenberger was still somewhat relevant, and he's beaten he had a draw with Tyron Woodley as well. That's another thing that I wanted to mention. Yeah, he had that draw with Tyron Woodley, and that matters as well. So for Vincente Luque, we've got to go a little bit lower down in caliber. He's beaten a lot of good mid-tier fighters that are really good fighters, but not to the level of Stephen Thompson's win. So, for example, he beat Mike Platinum Perry in his most recent fight. That's a good win. I respect Mike Platinum Perry. He's beaten Brian Bam Bam Barberena. That's a good win. Brian Barberena's a staple in the mid-tier of the UFC's welterweight division. That's a good fight. He knocked out Bilal Muhammad. Bilal Muhammad's a guy who I think a lot of, and he's a talented fighter that can do a lot of things. He beat Nico Price, BMF in his own right, so that's an interesting one. Let's go into the issues now. For Stephen Thompson, I mentioned his age at 36 as a fighter that relies on his reflexes, quickness, swiftness, pinpoint striking, are we going to start to see him age? And also, he's had some beatings over the last couple of years. Tough fights with Tyron Woodley, Anthony Pettis knockout loss. How is that going to impact him? And he always fights with his hands down, which makes him susceptible to get hit, i.e. Anthony Pettis. And Vincent Luque, I believe, hits harder than Anthony Pettis. For Vincent Luque, his issues are going to be, well, firstly, we haven't really seen him at this level of competition. The last step up he got was against Leon Edwards. Well, whilst Leon Edwards was building his momentum, he lost that fight. Has he adapted or evolved his game to the elite now? It's going to be interesting. I also believe him to be a little bit hittable, and Stephen Thompson can kick goddamn hard. He will put your lights out with a kick, so you don't really want to get into them exchanges. The X factor for Stephen Thompson is going to be his experience and his rangy kicks, and for Vincent Luque, his X factor is going to be his youth, freshness, and his power. Let's get into the prediction now. This fight is a really interesting one when I'm thinking about it, and I have to think that this fight is going to play out on the feet. I believe both these men are very, very skilled strikers, and I believe they're both going to want to utilize that striking to their advantage. Coming into this fight, there's a couple of considerations. Stephen Thompson's 36 years old. I keep mentioning that. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but he is older now. He's shown to be a lot more hittable recently than he has been previously. Vincent Luque hits hard. However, Vincent Luque is hittable too, and Stephen Thompson's a much better striker than Mike Platinum Perry. This is a really, really hard fight for me. It's a 50-50 fight if ever there was one, and actually I tend to lean towards Stephen Thompson in terms of analytically. Analytically, I lean towards Stephen Thompson, but something in my heart and my gut tells me that Stephen Thompson is not the way to go. Something in my heart and gut tells me that the 36-year-old who got knocked out in his last fight is coming off a layoff, is 1-3 in his last 4, has only won 1 fight in his last 5 versus the streaking 6 fights straight Vincent Luque, who's a known finisher, young, healthy animal, been fighting consistently, active. He's the way to go, and I can't give you guys a specific reason why I feel like he's going to get it, other than that I feel like Stephen Thompson's hittable, and I think that Vincent Luque can hang with most people on the feet, well, most everyone on the feet, and given him an opportunity, he will exploit that opportunity. I also believe he's got better BJJ. If it does go to that department, I don't think it will, but it does if it does go there. So guys, for my official prediction, I'm going to pick Vincent Luque to ride out some tough shots early from Stephen Thompson to eventually break in and maybe land his shots. If Stephen Thompson wins this fight, it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. Like I say, analytically, I lean towards him, but emotionally, or just something in my gut feeling tells me to pick Vincent Luque. So for my official prediction, I'm going with Vincent Luque. Anyway, fight fans, why don't you comment below, let me know what you guys think. If it's the first time you checked out any of my videos, subscribe to the channel and check out all the other breakdowns that I'm doing for UFC244, because I'm going to be doing at least 3 or 4 breakdowns for that card. Great card. And especially now that Nate Diaz and George Masvidal is back on and all that nonsense is behind us. Anyways guys, like I said, thank you for watching. I'm Rohan, this is Mindforcombat. Thank you.